Hello, everybody. I want to start off right away by encouraging you in this that there's probably not a whole lot more you can do to help yourself in your life than to read a chapter of Proverbs every day. That's right, every day. Whatever the day of the month is, read that chapter. If it's the ninth, read chapter 9, etc. It will help you in so many ways. Today I want to read Proverbs 26 and verse 10. It says, like an archer who wounds at random, think about that for a minute, an archer who's throwing out arrows into a crowd at random, right, is he who hires a fool or any passer by. You know, we all know how important hiring is and how important our inner circle is, but we don't always know about how to go through that process. Let me share some things with you here real quickly in just this time together. I've really been thinking a lot lately for the sake of those that I serve and the years of leadership that I have served. What are the two main mistakes that I have made in my leadership? My first and primary is a lack of self-care, not taking care of myself. And when you don't take care of yourself, it has all kinds of ramifications, and particularly your judgment. And then one of those mistakes that come from a lack of self-care or constantly learning is making bad decisions in the sake of who I decide is going to be in my inner circle and who I'm going to hire. Now, I want to go back a little bit in time, probably around 1984, 1983. My boss at Bank of America was teaching me how to be a business banker. And he taught me the 5 C's of credit, the 5 C's of credit. Let's see if I can remember them without looking at my notes. The first one is character. The second one is capacity. The third is capital. The fourth is collateral. And the fifth is conditions. Now, I'm going to explain each of those a little bit in the sense of how you can apply those to hiring or to inviting people into your inner circle. Just a couple more theory points on this. I know that I know that a lot of us who are entrepreneurs, we kind of look at bankers cross-sighted. In fact, some of the things that I have heard us say about bankers is that banks won't give you a loan until you don't need one. And let me just run a little bit to the defense of bankers. Well, isn't that the point? Isn't that the point? You see, we want to live a life where we don't want to be dependent upon a banker. We don't want to be dependent upon paying somebody interest. We want to get to a place in our life where our vision and our hard work brings us to a place where we don't need to leverage money. And if we do want to leverage money, there's a difference between wanting to and needing to. So we really don't want to be in a place where we have to ask a bank for money. So with that said, let me go through this. So I was taught that the first thing to look for when an entrepreneur or business came in for a loan was to look at their character. Now, in banking terms, really the only way that I could judge character wasn't my intuition, because some people had a great story, a great line. Some people were smooth in tongue, and so you could get them to, they could get you to believe things about them that aren't true. So really the only thing that we could do was pull a credit report. So in life, really the best thing that you can do is to look at one's behavior, because you see, character isn't what someone says they believe. That's not what character is. Character is not what one says that they will do. Character is what people do. So when you look at their character, you got to look at their present and their recent past. Now, if you go too far back, then you're not allowing people the opportunity to grow and to change. And obviously, when people make mistakes, many of them learn from those mistakes and help them develop better character. So the first thing that you want to look for when you're hiring, and if it's not hiring, who you're surrounding yourself with in life, is you got to look at their character. I wish I could spend more time on this, but to get this done in 10 minutes, I got to move on. And you need to write this down. The first is character. The second is capacity. Now, in banking terms, capacity means income. Do you have the income, or will this loan help you derive the income that you need to pay back the loan? Sounds fairly simple. In life, I would say I'm looking for skill. So first I'm looking for character, and then I'm assessing the skill that that person brings into my inner circle or into that business or that ministry that I'm bringing them into. And frankly, if they don't meet the character test, then I just move on. And by the way, Lead Today has all kinds of assessments that can help you with some of those things. And then the second is capacity. If they don't have a skill that fits what I need, let me explain it this way. You don't hire people to help them. Now, I know that for those of you who are watching and you have a lot of mercy and you have a lot of empathy, you think Jim is kind of leaning in hardcore today, kind of judgment. Listen, this is a coaching moment of wisdom, of wisdom, of wisdom. So remember that. And you don't hire people to help them. You hire people to help you accomplish the mission that you have in front of you. That's why you hire people. And if you're not hiring them formally, that's why you're allowing them in your inner circle. Helping people might be your mission or might have something to do with your mission, but it should have nothing to do with hiring. If you hire the right people, then in time, that will help them. All right? So character, capacity. If they don't meet those, boom, you're done. Move on to the next candidate. And then the third is capital. In banking terms, we're simply looking for other resources. If they're running low on cash, do they have the capital to pull from, right? An emergency fund, assets that can be quickly liquidated and used to serve their mission. Now, in life, capital is experience. Capital is experience, because with experience comes all kinds of different things. Not always wisdom, but often wisdom. Connections, not always connections, but sometimes connections. So we've talked about three so far. When you're looking for hiring, when you're looking to bring people in your inner circle, you're looking for character, you're looking for capacity, you're looking for capital. And then the fourth is collateral. Collateral. Now, in banking terms, essentially what we're talking about is insurance. Banks never want to foreclose. It costs a lot of money to foreclose. They never get back dollar for dollar what they want. But in life, collateral is their who. Their who. Now, I get a lot of phone calls and I do a lot of coaching that has to do with, Jim, how do I accomplish this? And I always go through the same three things, right? Ready? I go through what. What do you want to accomplish? Then I go through who can help you accomplish it. And then I go, why do you want to accomplish it? I never talk about how. Most people want to talk about how. That's all they ever talk about is how. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? It's the wrong question. The question is what, who, and why. And if you can align those things up, they will give birth to the how. And collateral is really about the who. Who do they have in their corner? Who do they hang out with? Why would you want to hang out with them if the people that you're looking at, that they're hanging out with, you would not invite in your own home at your own dinner table? Again, this is a talk about wisdom. It's not a talk about serving people. It's not talking about feeding people. It's not talking about digging wells. It's talking about surrounding yourself with the people that you need to serve people, to feed people, to dig wells, whatever it is that you're doing. I've got a minute left. The fifth is conditions. Conditions. We're going over the 5 C's of credit. The fifth is conditions. In banking terms, conditions mean, is this the right timing for this business? What's going on in the invention world? Is this, I can tell you a story about solar, which I don't have time for today. Someone was looking for a loan for solar, and I said, because I knew what the conditions were going to be in Washington, what Washington was going to do. What's competition doing, right? That's another thing. In life, conditions mean fit. How well do they fit? The culture, our values, will they work well with us? All right. So I hope you will take this and use this. And if you need more coaching on, just shoot me a note. Just shoot me a message and I'll get back to you.